Bobby's breakdowns, where knowledge grows, entertaining us all as the excitement flows. From films to wrestling, he's the pro.
What is up, everybody? It's your boy, Bobby from Bobby's Breakdowns, coming at you with another stream. It is a post-SummerSlam stream, so we will get into a little SummerSlam talk. We will actually get into a lot of talk today because we have a very special guest joining us today. He's been on the channel a handful of times at the very least. I want to say at least 3. So please welcome him back with open arms, the one, the only, Mr. Michael Gabriel.
Hello, Bobby.
How are we doing, my friend?
Doing well, sir. A glorious day hanging out here, talking with Bobby. You know, what can go, what could be better?
Yeah, you were about to say what could go wrong, and I was about to say a lot.
It could, that could too, for sure.
Yeah, the stream is young, and we did not plan this out, so we got to show off the guns. He's got a little more than me, and by a little I mean a lot.
Yeah. Oh yeah, maybe.
He's in slightly better shape than me, and by slightly I mean a lot better shape.
It's okay, Bobby. You're a working man. You've got the working man muscles. So
yeah, I like that. I'm gonna use that from now on.
The every man body, every man muscles.
Round is a shape. Never forget that, folks. Never forget that.
Oh yeah.
So yes. So what is this? Your 3rd time on the channel? 4th time?
I think so. Yeah, because I think 3rd, maybe. Yeah, 3rd. Because I think you did the one way back, and then we did like a WrestleMania prediction show, and then so that's all that I can remember, unless there was some other phantom appearance that I was on.
No. Well, the first time you were talking about that dude's mama, I remember that. Still, I don't know if you remember that.
Oh, was it what did I say about Mama Kazana or something?
Yeah, you were like mothers for the streets. And
she's a wonderful woman.
I had to break away from the camera because I was crying and laughing. And you were like,
I remember I had some people being like, and I just in the heat of the moment, I was just like, oh, my bad. But no, Sandra's a nice woman, a wonderful woman, truly.
Listen, I have that. I have that a lot. It's like you say something, and as soon as it leaves the mouth, you're like, oh no, that's wrong. Let me try and grab it back. But it's like, it's gone. It's out there. Like,
I mean, I could have said a whole lot worse, man. There's a whole lot. I mean, yeah.
True.
That's what I look at too.
But that was I would have to go back and clip that moment because you just see me go like this, and I'm like hunched over, laughing, crying.
Please don't do that, dude. I'm trying to have longevity in this business, so please don't do that.
All right, well, it will still be a memory in my mind. I can clip it up there.
Just keep it right here. That's all you need.
Clip it right there.
Ryan
Key's, yeah, it's up here and it can't go out there.
Nope.
All right, so Ryan Key says, "Where is he? I'm here. Where the heck was the countdown and intro? I clicked countdown.
Oh, dude, your fans are pissed.
Yeah,
they want the countdown.
This is the same thing. It started counting down, then it showed Sami Zayn going crazy. So,
I saw Sami Zayn dancing, but it seemed like the countdown went quick. But I don't know. I heard
StreamYard.
Can they not? Can they see me?
Yeah, they could see you.
Okay.
Oh wait. Oh, last time I was having an issue with Max. Like Max would just go red screen at some points. I couldn't see him. Everybody else could. It was weird. I don't know.
That's about right. Max has a potato phone. It's probably a better thing that you didn't see Max on there.
Yeah.
That's probably a good thing. Shout out to Max Abel.
One of the 3 Tennessee boys that are frequent flyers on this channel and are dear friends of mine, and they still need to make it out to New Jersey so I can see them wrestle in person.
Yeah, I've never met Bobby in person. I've only met him through
I've
screen.
never met any of you in person. So like, I still remember the first time like I got this going. I was talking to my old friend, known him for years now, Scotty Wade, and
Yep.
he sent. Oh, you know Scotty, of course. So
Dude.
let me put it to you this way: I've known Scotty. I was Scotty's bat boy when I was like 7 years old. I'm 29 now. So when he was playing baseball with my brother, I was his bat boy. So he sent me a highlight tape of Shoop, and at that moment I was like new to YouTube, so I'm like, "Will he come on for an interview?" And Scotty's like, "I can ask," and I'm like, "Yeah," and that's what got the ball rolling. And then, if I remember correctly, you slid into my DMs, and we're like, "Hey."
Yeah, yes, I slid in and it was like, you up?
Hey. Listen, I don't get many people sliding into my DMs, so that's one.
No,
And I'm not gonna lie to you,
stop.
I was pretty irate. It
Stop.
was a dude. I was pretty irate. It was a
Don't
dude.
be so bashful. Don't be so humble. It's your show, dude. It's your show.
I'm an open book. I'm an open book.
Yeah, sure are. Yeah. Today,
I don't
call
hide.
1-800, slide in Bobby's DMs. Make sure you swipe right on all the apps.
Listen, every time I bring my cousin's wife on, she makes it a mission to say he's single, and I'm like, please stop.
Yeah,
Please
dude,
stop.
you gotta get he's got to get a bigger house to podcast in. Someone's got to wipe him up.
True. I need a sugar mama. Just kidding.
Yeah, there you go. That's it. Yeah, get you an older woman, Bobby. It's the key to success and longevity.
It's the key to happiness.
Get you one that's taller too.
Taller?
Taller than you.
I'm 5'10", so I mean, it's rare.
Yeah, I mean,
they are out
that's
there.
size too. So if you get you a 6'2", 6'3", we're just this is a family show. I'll stop, but
But Mr. Gabriel, what has been going on in your life personally and professionally since the last time we talked?
Well, I feel like last time I was on here, I had a lot of things to say, a lot of things to do, and such and forth. But in the wrestling world, I feel like this year, I mean, even this summer, this coming weekend as the first weekend, I don't have anything wrestling related, probably in 2-3 months. So, I've been getting out there. I can cross off 2 new states.
That's awesome.
Here this year alone, I've been to Georgia for the first time a couple weeks ago and wrestled. It was down for a promotion called Wrestle America. Great time. Got to was in a tag team match with one of my former. He was actually with me in back when we trained at JPWA. Von Miller. Has Von been on your show yet?
No, but I'm trying to get both of the Von Millers on.
Oh yeah, well the Von Miller that tagged with me is a lot better. Which even though Von Miller is now on my favorite NFL team,
Wait a minute.
I'm still a Von Miller guy.
Wait. Anyway. Who's your football team?
The Commies, bro. Go Commies or Commanders.
Oh wait, okay,
You
that makes sense. No, but it makes sense because you're a Capitals fan too, right?
Yeah, well, I was born up in the DC area, so all my sports teams pretty much are based in, most of them are in DC. And as you probably know, I've been a miserable fan. All my teams are always bad. The Capitals have been hit or miss. They're not, they're nice and fun to watch. The Commanders, former Redskins. I made a bet, or I told when they first changed the name, which by the way, public sentiment is lean more, not as rigid on this, but with the name change. But if they make a deep playoff run or they win the Super Bowl, they'll be Commanders for life.
Yeah.
And last year they did. They made it to the NFC Championship game, so they are the Commanders.
You beat the Lions. I was very happy. I hate the
Dude,
Lions.
I was in disbelief. It was crazy. I just couldn't believe it. And so I'm going into a lot of the season with hope until I heard Terry McLaurin requested a trade. So I'm like, here we go again. Here we go again.
Now wait, do you know my football team off the top of your head or no?
I mean, if you're a Jersey guy, I don't know why. I feel like you're a Giants fan or a weird. I don't know why. Are you a Buffalo Bills guy?
Do we have anything around here? No, we don't. Jets? No.
I was
My
about to
brother.
say, you're not
My brothers.
You're not miserable enough to be a Jets fan.
Yeah. No, it's the same color as this screen.
That would be technically the New York Jets, right?
Yeah, but it's another green.
Wait, are you a Packers fan?
Bingo! Go Pack Go.
Okay, interesting.
Jordan Love, baby.
I'm tempted to draft Jordan Love in my fantasy league. We'll see. But anyway, I digress. I digress from all this. We were originally talking about me and wrestling and this and that. But so yeah, we went to Georgia and then I wrestled in Virginia a couple weeks ago as well. So crossed off 2 states to add to the resume. So, and hey, love to go anywhere else. So that's really been my thing is just and then next week could potentially be going up to Maryland. We'll see. I'll keep that a little close to the chest here. But basically, I mean, yeah, it's been for me. Been seeking out a lot of opportunities, going to spots, even if not booked, and just trying to prove a point, trying to show what I got, man. That's what I'm really looking for. I know, like, obviously you want to get paid, you want to make money in this business, and I do, but I'm also at a point in my career right now where I'm like, I'm just really looking for a big opportunity to be able to present myself, and be able to tell stories, entertain people, and just give me a shot. So last Friday we did I was on the NWA Joke Is In Promotions show, one of the NWA territory shows. Been on there a few times, but been matching up with some kind of made the right decision jumping in with some people there, some good, some magical people, as they would say, in the line. So what's in store? Just might have to see. YouTube be rolling it out, and hey, at the end of the day, Michael Gabriel is going to let it shine.
There you go. So I'm going to steal a quote from a very famous current AEW wrestler and manager. In the life of Michael Gabriel, big things popping, little things stopping.
Yeah. Hey.
Do you remember who said that?
Why am I blanking on that? I know exactly the reference. That's a T.I. song, right?
No, maybe. I learned it.
Well, okay, so we're getting our reference crossed up. It's a T.I. song, but
I
can't think of which AEW person said it.
He is current current manager of the current tag team champions of the world in AEW.
Okay, that makes sense. And I could see MVP saying that for sure. Yeah. Yep.
So it is.
I had a feeling because I'm just thinking, I was thinking going down the list, but yeah, MVP. Yeah, MVP's taken, from King of the South. Yeah, Mr. TIP.
Yeah, I like that. But yeah, as I said earlier, we're gonna talk a little SummerSlam here. Um, I don't have any videos or clips from my trip handy right now, but we don't need that. Overall, from what you saw, what do you think about SummerSlam, and what do you think about the future?
Well, yeah, well, I told you before we started going that I got to see the ending of night one and then 3/4 of night two. But honestly, I think WWE, they know how to always kind of dangle a carrot and keep things going, and make sure that you're kind of invested in something that's going on. I mean, obviously the curtain's been pulled back very far. It's kind of even why I'm in this state right now, talking to you. You know, letting loose, kicking it back, and hanging out. But at the same time, I think it's always nice to kind of just get a little surprise, because especially since that curtain's been so opened, everyone kind of is conditioned, or as they say, smartened up to a lot of things on how wrestling works and how this and that's going down. So when you have something like a surprise return, or a surprise angle, or like with Seth Rollins doing the fake injury deal, I think obviously there were so many people saying back and forth like, oh, it was this and oh, it was that, and it's not it's a work, brother, and all these people online. But that's what a place like WWE, that's what they want. Like they want the online discourse, and that's kind of the new version. Yeah, they want the chatter, because that's always good for business. When you get people talking about stuff, that's kind of always what makes it good, and that's what keeps it going. So that all publicity is good publicity, as they say. So no matter if people are talking like they hate something or they love something, that just means more money in everybody's pockets.
True. And TKO is making a lot of it.
Yes, they are. They're doing something right.
Leo from the Wrestling Retrospective, how are we doing, my brother? Thank you for joining us today. So yeah, night one, CM Punk won the belt, and I have been brutally honest and open about this. I do not like CM Punk. I have never cared for the man. I know I'm probably in the minority, whatever. So I was like, please, please, please send Seth Rollins out here. And then Seth's music hit, and I'm like, yes. I got so amped for Seth Rollins cashing in. I woke up the next morning. I had my voice. I popped a blood vessel in this eye.
Wow.
Yep. I woke up. I'm like, why is my eye just straight red? And I'm like, huh. Like, I must have been going a little too crazy.
Pent-up aggression.
Yeah.
CM Punk seems to do that to a lot of people.
Yeah. CM Punk makes people furious. And I was like,
I love CM Punk. I'm a fan. I've always been back even when him and John Cena were feuding, and I mean even though he was the heel and I was I loved me some John Cena, but man, there was always CM Punk that just always. Then of course when I got into the business and actually doing it, I was like, oh yeah, CM Punk, like he's the master of his craft for sure.
Whether
you like him or not, but
I was just about to say, whether you love him or hate him, he's doing a good job, one way or another.
Oh yeah, he knows exactly what he's doing for sure.
Like, yep, He's you either love to love him or you love to hate him, and regardless,
Hmm.
he gets the reaction every single time. So it works. But also, my current favorite wrestler is Drew McIntyre. So you understand why I hate CM Punk.
Yeah, I can see that. I can
Yeah,
see that.
a year of straight misery for Drew McIntyre
Yep.
fans because of that man. I I still not over it. That my friend Leo, who was just in the comment section, he did say he's like, it would have been a nice moment and callback to have Drew Claymore him and then Seth cash in. But I was like,
Oh yeah.
yeah, I get it. I would have loved it. I would have popped hard. But I feel like the whole Seth thing, it would have been like, oh, now we know Seth's coming out for sure because we weren't sure, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah, I wasn't even, I was just taking it. I was just watching that match, and I wasn't even really thinking about the aftermath. I was just more so. I mean, at first, the match started out very slow, and
mhm.
it was actually. I mean, it was kind of, quite frankly, it was a wrestling match.
Yep,
Started with lockup and chaining, and and I thought to myself, I'm like, man, probably. I mean, because so many people, especially like there's a lot of people that do, um, the modern style is very hard hitting and it's very quick and fast paced and a lot of pizzazz, and that's what you need to have, and you need to know how to do that. But also sometimes like some stuff like that, when you know how to do it well, it looks good and it also works because what happened was, as even though I wasn't, I'm like, man, they're taking their time with this. Uh, it turned into a great match. They told a
we did.
fantastic story, and it was a classic. Like I mean, and even Gunther bleeding, showing the like, oh, he's got a chink in his armor, and I mean, it wasn't like just a little, oh, he's bleeding. Like I mean, he was gushing, and I mean, and he sold it really good, and in the story of CM Punk just getting beat up and beat up and beat up and then keeps coming back. I mean, that's classic storytelling right there. And then getting the belt, getting the whole, oh, he's back, and then that moment just gets, and then we're on to the next thing. And so that's what it's all about. At the end of the day, wrestling storytelling.
You took the words out of my mouth with Gunther bleeding because, at least in my section, we were stunned that Gunther bled as much as he did. Like, we just stopped and we were like, whoa. Say that again?
Yeah, he had to make sure. I mean, yeah, yeah, that was a, like I said, yeah, that was definitely a huge. That was a good storytelling piece because it wasn't just like because a lot of guys sometimes, even, if we get, a little blood or something on us, it kind of, we kind of internally mark out or so. But basically, um, yeah, I mean, you saw like his own, he was selling his own shock of like what just happened. This is crazy. So, there's elements in that, and you can take it and go in different directions. And I think I remember Dr. Tom telling us back when we were training. He said that what we do in the ring matters this much. And by that, it means like all the moves and the headlock, takeover, drop down. Like, it's all about this, your face, your body language,
Reactions.
selling. And I mean, Dr. Tom was there during the height of wrestling and trained some of the biggest guys in the business. And so, I mean, that type of stuff it still
Yeah.
works even in today, where everything's on the internet and everyone's in on it and smartened up. It still
Yeah.
works.
And I mean, like, when Seth got injured was it Saturday night's main event?
Yep, it was.
Okay, yeah. So when he went down, and Ryan, before we get into that, Ryan, don't ask me about music or songs. I couldn't
I
tell.
just saw that
I couldn't tell you who sings
Bobby
what
is
song. Listen, we went away on vacation recently, and actually you hit me up when I was on vacation, and you were like, "Hey, it was still good," and I'm like, "What day did I tell this guy?"
yeah, dude. I'm excited.
Yeah, that's what I was like. But I had that moment. I'm like, "Oh no, did I tell him?" I was like, "No, no, 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 no." I'm like, I couldn't have. But like, there was some games. It was like, "Oh, name the song and the artist." I'm like, "Oh, it's by that guy who couldn't tell you." What's the band? Couldn't tell you. What's the song name? Don't know
Oh,
it.
cultured, brother.
I'm not good with bands, music, and like I can sing a song, like, but like when you start asking me who it's by, yeah, I don't know. Like that's why I have Shazam. That's where the app comes in handy.
I'm glad that's helpful for you.
Yeah, because I could they'd be like, "Oh, who sings that?" The Backstreet Boys. No, that's not it. Okay, well, I know some of their songs off the top of my head. But yeah, so Seth got injured at Saturday night's main event, and he sold it. And at first, I was like, he's done. Like he's done for a while. But then about 3 weeks went by. Yeah, 3 weeks, give or take. 2 weeks went by, and nobody was saying a thing. No injury was reported. Becky Lynch was posting those stories with his leg conveniently in it, and I'm like, they might be doing this to us. And by the time SummerSlam Night 1 came around, I was confident. So much so that I wore my Messiah shirt to SummerSlam Night 1.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was like, I saw Seth Rollins imposter outside. I said, "Are you cashing in tonight, bro?" And he went, "You bet I am." He was really good. He was really good. He was dressed to the nines, and I was like, "All right, this dude's actually pretty good." But I was so confident, and I was very, very happy. Now, on to night two, and before we get into that, the night two ending, we all know what I'm talking about. Um, if you have your opinions on this man, great. I don't want to steer you one way or another. If you hate him, you hate him. If you like him, you like him. I know he's in the news for a lot of things, legal
Yeah.
battles. We're steering clear of that. I'm not mentioning that. I, like I said, if you love him, you love him. If you hate him, you hate him. Great, but just keep your opinions legally out of this. That's all I ask. Brock Lesnar. Not in a million years did I see that coming.
Yeah, I didn't know what to. I was genuinely shocked because I was like,
Yep.
oh wow, because of all the stuff. But at the end of the day, like it got people talking. There's history there. John Cena's retirement match. He turned babyface. Do I need to say more?
Yep. Exactly. And this gets Cena out of the title picture, but also keeping him in a huge program.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
it's
It's
yeah.
it's yeah, it's exactly that. I agree.
I, the mark in me was like, oh, okay, they're just gonna let us say goodbye to Cena last time in New Jersey, and we'll send him off. We'll have a good night. And then I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, he's back. 2 years, he's back. And whether you hate him or you love him, Brock Lesnar gets a pop every single time. And Brock Lesnar is a ginormous, literally and figuratively, name.
Oh yeah.
So it got the people talking, and I was stunned, to say the least.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
it was a good time. Yeah.
yeah. No, it was definitely a shocking moment. Like we've been talking about it. That's what gets people talking, good or bad. All publicity is good publicity.
There is no such thing as bad publicity. Yes. Yeah, so we have a few comments. Apparently, I'm in the. Does that say 0.25? Okay, I'll read it over here. One Direction. One Direction's a solid band. Not even gonna lie to you.
I
What do you think
mean,
about One Direction? I mean, say it. Come
people
on.
like them, and apparently you do. So, I mean,
You don't like them?
I don't know. I don't know if the band uh, is a very interesting term, but they do. Yes, they do make music.
They're a boy band.
Boy
I
band,
mean,
boy
yeah.
band. I get it.
Well, do you
I don't
call the back?
some old curmudgeon, but
Well, do you call the Backstreet Boys a band?
yeah, I guess I don't know. I don't really. That's
The
where
same.
I don't really think about One Direction a whole lot. So,
They're kind of in the
or
same
boy band in
wheelhouse.
general. I don't really. I don't know.
Insane.
They're not always on my radar. So I,
No, you're not an NSYNC guy.
no, I mean they were big when I was younger. I remember those days. But
So do
yeah,
I.
the, they produced Justin Timberlake, and so that's I like Justin Timberlake's older stuff. So can't go wrong with that.
All right, and then we have another question for you. I'm not sure if you're much of a movie theater experience guy, but Ryan wants to know if you are going to watch the new movie. I believe it comes out tomorrow. Weapons, it's called, with Julia Garner and Josh Brolin, I think.
It's funny because I've gotten Instagram ads for that movie, but
Okay,
I haven't really like looked into it. And I'm not, and it's gonna sound weird, but I'm not even really like a movie guy.
that's fair.
I basically, I just I don't know. I just feel like I never have time for it, and um, it's just I fall asleep through a lot of movies. Um,
Well, Mike,
but
you are getting up there in
But
age, my man.
I'll have to, now that since someone recommended it, I will look into it more, and then also, see if it's worth watching. Because I do have to say, I enjoyed Sinners. That was a great movie.
I still haven't watched it. It's on Max. It's on my list,
It,
literally.
yes, I watched it on Max. It's a great movie. Since you have not seen it, I will not even attempt to spoil it or say anything about it, but it is worth the watch for sure. There's a lot of, you just got to pay attention, and there's a lot of attention to detail, and I like movies like that. I think sometimes a lot of movies, I think probably what made me not be such a movie guy is I feel like, there's a lot of, I don't have the time, but like, I like being told a good story that has a lot of thought behind it, and a lot of just maybe some little things that happen in it, that you have to kind of rewatch, or you don't maybe catch the first time. And I'm a big sucker for lore too, because that's where I even say, because you were talking about music a little bit ago, like I don't know what it is, like obviously, like one of my favorite bands right now that I'm really listening to, and it's crazy because I became a fan of them before they just went to the stratosphere. Is a band called Sleep Token. I'm not sure if you've heard
I've
of them
heard
or
of them.
not,
I
but
I don't listen to them, but I've heard. I don't know where I've heard their name mentioned, but I remember seeing the name Sleep Token, and I'm like, I have no idea who this is. But I do remember seeing it somewhere.
yes, I'm a massive, massive Sleep Token mark. I love them. I fell in love with them a couple years ago before they became this massive act now. And their whole, quite frankly, their whole gimmick is that there are these four guys in this band, and they're all anonymous. Like the singer, they all have like the singer's in like a mask, and the
Oh,
masks, and the singer's name's Vessel, and then the guitar player is two, or the drummer's two, and then the bass player's three, and the guitar. So, and their lore is that they worship some ancient deity named Sleep, But in reality, all their songs are just about sex and love and Vessel being a horny guy, which is. But the lyricism and all this, and it kind of takes you on a journey. I don't know. I like that type of stuff, and I've
Hey,
always so. To me, I feel like even on a storytelling, like from a wrestling and then even movies, I've always been a sucker for good stories.
have you seen Oppenheimer?
Yes, I have seen Oppenheimer. I did see
That's
Oppenheimer in the theater actually, which is one of the
oh,
rare occasions I've been to a theater in the last couple of years.
because you said layers and storytelling. That was the first movie that popped in my head. I'm like, if he hasn't seen it yet, he has to.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I mean, obviously, it's a historical piece as well, and but that was, I mean, everything. Even I'm not no cinematographer or big into all that, but I still could even appreciate of like how things were shot and how the just the presentation of it all was great.
I used to. Do you remember the black and white scenes with Einstein?
Einstein.
Hmm. They were
Not.
near like a pond.
Oh, yes, I do.
I used to work at that place.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
Yeah, I was summer help there for like 4 years, and I was like, I've walked in this building so many times. So
That's
it's like it's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, no, that was funny because because obviously in with the whole, I'm a history guy too. I like the historical stuff, but when they the Manhattan Project and all that happened, they one of the places that they made all the uranium for the atomic bomb was probably about 25 minutes from here, from where I'm at in Knoxville, Oak Ridge, Tennessee. At the Oak Ridge National Laboratory and Y12 complex, which is a crazy thing because this whole. Are you familiar with any of like that stuff? Because I could go into a whole diatribe on.
Yes and no. Like I knew the Oppenheimer story going in, but like
Yeah,
I'm not. You're definitely a bigger. I don't hate it, but I'm not like super into it. I'm just
right.
there, if that makes sense.
Either I just think it's like kind of going
Yeah.
back to the thing of like you see in that movie and being like, oh yeah, I've been in that building. They
You,
mentioned it was like just a little blip on the thing, but they mentioned Oak Ridge, and there was somebody in the theater that, whoa, okay, probably some dude that grew up in Oak, lives there, grows up there. I don't know, but long story short, Oak Ridge, Tennessee, was basically built because of the lab, and
okay.
it's government. That's where they make all the uranium for the atomic bombs. All like the whole United States arsenal of atomic bombs have either been through Oak Ridge. And if you like, I mean, it's one of those places like Area 51. If you trespass or you have no access or no clearance and they catch you, it's not like a, hey, stop right there.
Hey,
It's
get out.
shoot.
No, it's a.
It's crazy. And it's just like, I mean, there's so many, yeah. It's kind of funny, like knowing like, oh yeah, I live like 20 minutes from one of the places that's mentioned in this movie, which is
That's fair.
a big historical uh, feat, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, so one of the more historic places, maybe not even one of the more, maybe one of the most historical places I've been to. I was in Dallas 3 years ago, and they have it marked off where Kennedy got shot.
Yep.
Have you been there?
I've been to Dallas. I just haven't been to
Okay.
that. I know that it's there.
It's like eerie how like because you're like this is weird, and then they just have it marked off in the road like with an X, and it's like you run out there, you take a picture, everyone stops because they know what you're doing.
Right.
They're like, oh, it's a tourist who's here just to see,
Yep.
what happened. But it's like you're on the grassy knoll, and you're like, ooh, like it's chills. Like
Oh
then you
yeah.
look up at the book depository, and it's like,
Dude, oh
wow.
yeah. I feel that. I mean, especially where there's been a lot of death and despair and trauma. I mean, I've been to Alcatraz over in San Francisco, and dude,
My brother and dad went there.
same exact vibe. I mean, you're going through it, and obviously you're surrounded by a bunch of people because they're doing the same thing you're doing, going through doing the tour. But man, it does. There, I don't. I mean, I know I'm not gonna sit there and get spiritual on people, but I mean, I don't know, man. And believe whatever you believe, but I don't think that that type of stuff can be explained always through science. So
Nope.
so
I agree with you 100%.
yeah, but
110%.
well, that's probably the former preacher in me talking. So
What other historical sites have you been to? I'm curious.
well, my grandparents used to live down the road from the Civil War battlefield in Manassas, Virginia.
Oh, wow.
That I've been to that place many a times. I've been through the Smoky Mountains a bunch. Done the historic, like the little Cades Cove.
Okay.
All the little settlers are at DC. I mean, if you go to Washington DC, you can.
Of course.
I mean, it was cool one time going into like I said, I'm a historical guy, so I stood in line to just go look at this glass case where the Constitution is at in the archives building.
Okay.
So getting to go all the historical museums and such like that. I'm trying to think of anywhere else. I've been to Africa, and I've seen where I've driven by where I was in a country called Swaziland, and it's crazy that you're just driving down the Swaziland equivalent of the interstate, and the driver's like, oh yeah, there's the king's palace, and it's just right on the side of the road. You're like,
it's what? Just there. You're like, oh,
yeah, it's got a golf course. I mean, that's a whole nother rabbit hole. We'll do the Swaziland historical podcast next time.
That's you running the show and me just sitting back going, yep. You can lie to me and I'll be like, yep, that's 100% right. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, hey, by the way, I gotta go and do this thing. I gotta go water my cactus. It's time. So.
It's cool. I didn't really know you were a history buff, so that's pretty cool. I like that. I'm trying to think.
There's many layers to Michael Gabriel. It's not just the wrestling guy that runs around with a book and it's trying to start a cult. I'm a lovable person, wealth of knowledge.
We don't use the C word here, the 4-letter C word. And if you think I'm going in a different direction, CULT. We don't use that word here. It's not a cult. It's a group of people that gather.
Layman's terms, because some people weirdly like that. I mean, I've been in places where, of course, people have told me that I'm going to hell because I have a book that looks like a Bible. But then there's also people that are like, I'll join, please take my hand. I'll join. I'll do whatever. And it's kind of, it's surreal. So sometimes, I go in there as the conquering hero, and then, I might as well put horns on my head and say, Hail Satan. It's just, depends on where you go.
I like that. Yeah.
Nashville, Tennessee, I'm a celebrity, but in La Follette or, Bland, Virginia, I'm the spawn of Satan.
You're the spawn of Satan in Virginia. Tennessee, they love you. Virginia, not so much apparently.
Yeah, Mississippi doesn't like me. East Tennessee. You get more further away from the bigger cities, and these little smaller towns where they clutch their pearls as they do their Bibles, and man, they don't like you.
They thump their Bibles, talking about no. About to go to a spiel there.
Yeah, another guy. So
I had another history thing that I saw. I'm just blanking on it right now. Like I said, the Oppenheimer, the movie. I used to play for their softball team, so me and the guys brought Einstein home a championship. So that there's that.
Yeah.
2016 that was. But yeah, like I used to walk back there all the time. It was just like I had that Leonardo DiCaprio moment. I'm sure you've seen that GIF or meme or whatever you want to call it. That hey, oh, hey, yeah.
Yep.
Like, yeah, I was like, hey, I know that place.
I know that one. Nope.
Yeah.
I know that one.
Yeah, yeah, it's awesome. And then like I said, the Kennedy assassination spot. It's like this is awesome, but also extremely weird.
Oh, sure. Yeah, that's
And you're like looking around and you're like, huh, okay. But like as far as history goes, that spot is up there for one of the biggest spots in history,
yeah,
good or bad.
get a lot of morbidly curious people.
Yep. And yeah, people were selling their stuff. I'm like, okay, guys.
Oh,
I'm like, come on.
yeah, it's like that everywhere. It capitalized off a lot of death or whatever they can. So it's
But yeah, but it was funny. People were running out into the road. Traffic was stopping. And I was like, oh, these people are going to lay on their horns. No, they just calmly waited there. Like, they knew. They were like, oh, tourist. Okay.
yeah, no, I get it. I get it. It's a weird thing. I haven't always been as fascinated with stuff like that, but as I've gotten older and more, just experience life, things like that interest me and make me curious as well.
Yeah, I feel you. Yeah, that's cool. And going back to Sinners, I do have to watch that because my current celebrity crush is Haley Steinfeld.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
and
yeah.
What happened?
Oh, I say she's taken. One of
Listen,
Mr. Josh Allen is, wifed her up.
Okay, what does he have that I don't?
I don't know if he has a podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Does he have a YouTube channel that just hit 8,000 subscribers? No.
Shoot. Bobby
That's
Big
right, Joshy boy.
Bobby Big Time. Let's go.
Yeah. We're and yeah, I do have to mention that. Thank you everyone. It's always a really cool, awesome feeling when you hit a milestone like that. And we're close to 10K. And when I started this channel, I never even thought I'd be this close. But like, it's always a nice feeling. Like 8,000 people want to see your stuff. It's like, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah,
it makes you
celebrate the win.
I don't feel much. I'm like, I don't know if you're an Always Sunny in Philadelphia fan.
I've watched it a little bit, not much though.
Okay, so Dennis Reynolds, one of the main characters, is a complete psychopath. He has no feelings, no emotions, and most of the time I'm like that. But this stuff, it's like, yeah, this gets to me. Yeah.
I feel you, dog.
Yeah, no, it's but shout out to everyone. Thank you. Let's keep this going. What's today's date? August 7th, 8th,
Yeah.
7th, whatever. Dare I say 10K by the end of the year? I don't know.
Okay.
Could we pull it off? I mean, like, we need less than 2,000. We're at, let me see if I can, I don't have the YouTube Studio app on my iPad. So we're at 8, it says 8.02. So let's just say, for the sake of argument, 8,020 subscribers. Let's do it. Like, that's 19, it's pretty much 2,000. Let's just say we need 2,000. Like, let's do it. Let's get there by the end of 2025. Let's start off 2026 crazy good. And the wrestling retrospective says crush, more like obsession. Yeah. He knows I love Haley Steinfeld. It's like there's two women that, maybe more, But there's two that I can think of off the top of my head that if I ever meet them, I'm gonna be like, hi, Bobby, I'm Haley. Wait, no, that's not it. Um, her and I don't know if you'll know this name, Amy Jo Johnson.
That sounds familiar.
Are you a fan of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers?
I was a Power Rangers guy when I was a kid, so but I don't know.
Kimberly, the OG Pink
I'll have,
Ranger.
I'll have to look her up to see
Oh,
which Ranger she was.
the Pink Ranger in Mighty Morphin.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Whew, that girl. Yeah. As a little kid, I'm like, I'm in love. So those are like the two that I'm like, hi, how are you? I might faint, I don't know. But Mr. Gabriel, do you have anything coming up that you would like to promote, plug, talk about? Anything at all. Could be in your personal life, could be in your wrestling career, could be something you're just excited and looking forward to. Sound off now, my friend.
Yeah, well, I've got some in the works right now. I've got a new T-shirt design coming out soon. It's not up yet, but the guy he's already got it designed, and he's kind of redoing his website. But I'll probably even just once it drops, I'll just send it to you, maybe to throw out on social media.
I will gladly do that.
But yeah, man, I'm going out here coming up soon. I know in a couple months we'll be back with the NWA JCP
Nice.
showcase and stuff. So we'll be doing that, getting some big opportunities, and yeah, and next week I've got something, like I said, and keeping it close to the chest. You just have to kind of see what plays out, but big opportunity in a different state. So
New Jersey?
Well, in Maryland, that's close-ish to Jersey.
It's like a 4-hour drive, brother. Come on.
I mean, that's closer than it is for me to you now. So.
Well, yeah, but still, you could just come to New Jersey and make it really easy on me.
I know, I really could. I need to reach out to some Jersey people and make some connections throughout that, because business is all based on.
Drop my name. It won't go anywhere with it, but drop my name. It won't mean anything.
No one will know it, but just.
It won't matter one bit. I can guarantee you that. But drop the name,
Even though my name is Bobby and I don't listen to a lot of music, I'm not good with names, but there was this one that say my name, say my name, say my name.
Listen, we're on the Sleep Token and One Direction train, okay? Similar music, I bet.
No.
I remember their name though. I remember their name.
Yeah, you gotta take a listen. That'll be you gotta experience it for yourself. They got a little something. They got a little something for everybody. It scratches all the itches.
Okay. I'm also a big Michael Bublé guy, so this is what your deal. Yeah. Just so you know.
Yeah, they got that too, man. Yeah, it's good stuff. So.
Listen, yeah, I think we need a crossover. That's what we need. Sleep Token, Backstreet Boys. Let's do
it. One day maybe in WWE 2K25 we can make that happen.
I love it, man. Oh man, hey man, it's always a fun time talking to you. Just kicking back, shooting always a blast. We're definitely gonna have you on before the end of the year because we are almost in mid-August already, which is crazy to me. But yeah, be on the lookout for Mr. Michael Gabriel. I keep trying to convince him to come to New Jersey, but he just won't do it. He's selfish like that,
It's enough. I'll go anywhere. It don't matter. I'll make it.
Now, are you a fan of the show called Seinfeld by chance?
Yeah, that show Seinfeld. Yes, I've
Okay.
watched a few episodes of that show.
So I can't remember the exact episode, but Kramer goes, "Oh, if you go to the glasses store, just say my name and it will go well." So
Yeah,
like what I was saying, drop my name, it won't matter. So she goes there and she's like Kramer, and the guy's just like, okay, like just doesn't phase him, doesn't okay. So yeah,
great, great.
Bobby, okay, who's that? Bobby.
Well, Bobby, thank you for having me on, man.
Of course,
It's
man.
always a fun time.
Yep.
One day we will meet in person for real.
Listen, even if I got to go down south, so be it, man. I've never been to Tennessee, so I've been to
You
Virginia.
the South is where it's at. It ain't as bad as people make it out, especially these all these Northerners want to come down here, and they'll talk and they fall in love. That's why everyone from California and New York and they're moving to Tennessee because you got no income tax, it's a lot cheaper, and the people are way nicer.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't In-N-Out Burger moving their headquarters to Tennessee?
They're putting like their East Coast headquarters
Maybe
in
that's what it
Nashville.
is. In Nashville, yes, that's what I saw. I knew it was
Yeah,
something.
Nashville's kind of. I mean, Nashville's already a big city, but I mean, it's not. I wouldn't even say it's not like Atlanta even, but like it's definitely on the like. It's growing really, really, really fast. I mean, it's always been a big city, but I mean, it's getting up there.
I mean, a lot of bachelor and bachelorette parties are there in Nashville. I see on
Oh,
the
I
social media feeds. Yeah,
weeks ago I saw it all live and in living color. It's quite the scene, man.
a good friend of mine had his bachelor party in Nashville a little over a year ago. So it's like, yeah,
I know.
it's so
Yeah,
funny.
it's a cool it's a cool spot to go for a week. I wouldn't live there, but it's cool. You know, if you want to
Yeah, of
go
course.
for a weekend or a week and hang out, it's a nice spot.
It's like when I went to Los Angeles. Have you ever been? Or
I have been to LA. Yep.
it's like, all right, cool. All right, I've had enough.
Yeah.
All right, get me home. It's cool, but no. But before we go, like I said, thank you all to the 8,000 subscribers. Let's keep it going. Let's keep the train rolling. 10K by December 31st, 2025. Let's go. We can get there. I have faith. I fully believe we can get there. But until next time, make sure you hit that like button. Oh, it's always a guess which one I pull up first. Make sure you subscribe. I don't plan it as I should, but I really don't. Thank you to Michael Gabriel. As always, we will definitely have him back by the end of 2025. Hopefully, by that time, we're at 5 digits for subscribers. Hopefully, that would be really cool.
That would be.
Yeah, Mr. Gabriel, do you have any parting words or a phrase or a sentence or anything?
A sentence. Well, I'd just like to say, hey man, whenever you go out in life, make sure you let it shine everywhere you
I
go.
love it. I love it. I love it. Just like the show Victorious' theme song, Let It Shine. I'm sure we're close to the same age. We're in the same age range. I'm sure you remember that show.
I do. I do.
He's like, Bobby, shut up. But yes, thank you to everyone who joined us on the stream, who commented, even if you just listened and didn't comment. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. And actually, I'll promote this right now because I do believe we have a date locked down. And if I say the wrong date or this happens to move, well, just ignore this. I believe we have a familiar face coming on the channel in about 2 weeks' time, Sunday, October. Jeez. Let me try that again. Sunday, August 24th, Mr. Tyler Shoop will be returning to the channel. So be on the lookout for that. I believe we locked it down. I'm not sure, to be completely honest, but look out for the announcements and the stories. It will be more accurate there. Thank you to Michael Gabriel, as always, for joining me. And until next time, I am Bobby from Bobby's Breakdowns, and we will see you guys in the next one, hopefully with a better voice. And we will see you guys next time. Later. Bye-bye.
Bobby's break.